Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the weekly September 22nd to the 28th for the sign of Virgo. Lovely earth signs. Sign of the Hermit, associated with the Hermit. So let's get right into it and get your romance angel messages out for your reading this week. And of course, all of the information about the music, the cards, and of course the timestamp for the video, all of that is in the description, so you can go ahead and jump ahead if you want to. Got chemistry. Love yourself first. And children. So, three very different cards, right? They could act together, they could act independently. You may resonate with all or none of them, and that's fine. But my regulars know that I won't really speculate on how these messages pertain to you until we get the rest of your cards out. So let's go ahead and get out your animal spirits. Now, animal spirits are just, they could be energies, they can be events. They can be individuals coming into your life who may be resonating with a part of this animal energy. All right. Just take what applies to you and throw the rest away. It's just another way to really like hone in on whatever type of energy or dynamics you're dealing with this week with various individuals. Starfish, water energy. It's the alchemical symbol for water at the top of the card. We have tarantula. Wow. Heavy karmic energy, fire. And the horse. Wow. Very strong energy. Okay, we have a couple of very strong cards here with the tarantula and the horse. All right, let's just get into these animal spirits. Again, this is timestamp. You can go ahead and jump ahead to the forecast readings if you'd like. But right now, we're going to take a look at these animal spirits briefly. The starfish. The starfish is water element. The starfish is preoccupied with the outside shell, right? With the beauty, with all attention and eyes being on it. And so, this is not necessarily a horrible, nefarious, egotistical person, but this is someone, perhaps someone who resonates with starfish energy, is someone who relies on their exterior, they rely on their good looks, their popularity, etc. for their happiness, to their own sort of disservice, because within the starfish there is deeper qualities that are sort of yearning to come to the fore. And oftentimes people who are identifying with starfish energy are simply too afraid to rely on those inner qualities because they fear that perhaps they won't be received as well as their outer beauty is being received, right? So basically this is a lesson in a way, or an not so much an admonishment, but to say, listen, you know, you are beautiful on the outside, but you're even more beautiful on the inside, and you have talents and qualities that you are not using or not allowing to come out and to grow and to blossom, either because of fear or insecurity. All right. Now we have the tarantula. The tarantula is a very interesting, fiery card associated with karma and decisions, major decisions in life. The tarantula is very sort of observant and patient and will wait to make the right step, because every step that the tarantula makes is intentional. Every step on its journey is intentional, and it's a step towards what they believe to be their life's purpose. All right, tarantula energy is really oftentimes will come in when you're at a crossroads in life, right? And you are beginning to sort of evaluate, what is your purpose? You know, what is your life's purpose. And when you're at a crossroads and you're thinking about these issues, it is very important every decision you make, every move you make, every person that you interact with or that you have a dynamic with, who you choose to have in your life and which way you decide to go. This is all part of Dharma, right? How you live your life. And especially if you're living your life according to some kind of spiritual code or moral center, then these decisions, these intentional decisions are extremely important. Okay? Try not to get sidetracked from what your true aim in life is. And the tarantula is one animal that will not get sidetracked. All right, let's go ahead to the horse. Of course, one of my favorite animal spirits in the deck. I am, of course, a Sagittarius. So I love the horse animal spirit. The horse. Beautiful, strong, the most masterful form of the earth energy within the deck, right? The horse provides momentum that is so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride it towards your goal. And it doesn't matter how rough the terrain is, it doesn't matter how difficult the journey is, the horse will not let you down. It will not drop you. It will not stop supporting you. The strength that the horse has is really unmatched in a lot of ways when we come to an earth element spirit animal. We're talking about momentum and strength. Some other animals have that strength, like the bear energy. But bear energy is fire element, not earth. We're talking about earth element here, right? And so the horse's freedom becomes available to us so that we can hone and collect its energy to push through our daily practice, to push through our daily obstacles, our burdens, right? To help us carry our burdens. Very, very reliable, very strong, very supportive. This could be an individual coming into your life, a friend, a family member, a lover. Okay, but most certainly this horse energy is probably going to be one of the most helpful energies in terms of expansion of energy and force, right? Maintaining your momentum towards your goal. Very beautiful, beautiful cards. So let's get right into your spreads. We're going to get about 5 to 8 3-card spreads out. We're going to look at just some scenarios that you may be involved in this week, my lovely Virgos. And again, please take what resonates or applies to your situation and throw the rest away. If it doesn't apply to you, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of other good readers out there and good channels that you can check out, and I encourage you to do so. Don't forget, this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus in Virgo. And so check the placements of your other charts, because there may be another reading in another sign that resonates with you more. I'm a Sagittarius with a Taurus rising. Oftentimes, Taurus readings will resonate with me more than Sagittarius. So there you have that, right? All right, let's get right into it. We have 5 of Cups, Page of Swords, and we have 6 of Cups. Wow. All right, some of you, you're stuck in the past, right? You're still lamenting the past relationships. You're lamenting those 3 cups that have knocked over and all the love is poured out, right? And you're kind of in your feelings, right? You're kind of stuck feeling bad about that, feeling, you know, remorseful, or the woulda, shoulda, couldas, the woulda, shoulda, couldas, right? It's 5 is the number for power struggle, but with 5 of Cups, we find an internal power struggle. It's an internal power struggle between your desire to be full of sort of self-pity and self-loathing, and your sort of strength to kind of rise above that and look to the future. It's a battle. It's an internal battle. One that all of us have waged at one point or another with ourselves, right? However, this week you have a Page of Swords happening, which is the meeting of the minds, perhaps a communication. It could be just a conversation that you have with someone, right? Now, this conversation is going to be extremely important, Virgo, because this conversation is going to help you to kind of look past these 3 cups and begin to look to the future. Why? Because we have a 6 of cups on the spread. 6 of cups indicates long-term friendships, right? It could be, for some of you, you may have been dealing with this depression here, and this Page of Swords event happens with a close friend, and they remind you of who you are. They remind you that you do have good memories. They remind you that you do have good relationships, and it's time for you to look to the future. All right, it's very, very beautiful energy. I want to say it's almost horse energy coming in the sense that they are helping you through this 5 of Cups scenario. Page of Swords is air energy, Virgo, so you could be somewhat, you know, I'm not even going to say that air energy in the sense that this is definitely about communication. I'm not even going to mention the signs because I really hate it when people do that. Just because you're dealing with a swords doesn't mean you're dealing with an air sign. It's absolute nonsense. So Page of Swords is a conversation, a new conversation, by the way. This is not the same old conversation you've had before. And it's very, very beautiful, and it leaves you feeling very upbeat and feeling very sort of in your 6 of Cups, looking to the future. Knight of Swords, 7 of Cups, and 5 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. Knight of Swords talks about sort of like coming in. The Knight of Swords comes in, you know, with, you know, mind, body, and soul to get to the heart of a situation. The Knight of Swords is very much a dynamic card about getting to the point, getting to the truth, getting to the heart of a situation. The Knight of Swords is also the great protector in a sense. This is the person who comes to the aid of the vulnerable. This is the my bodyguard, right? My bodyguard is Knight of Swords, the one who comes in and helps you to defend yourself and defend your ground and defend your stance. Very noble energy, but it's movement, right? Knight of Swords is movement coming in, right? And so it could be helping you. This Knight of Swords energy coming in could be an individual that comes in to help you with a particular scenario. I want to say that they may be coming in to help you deal with some illusions that you may have had. 7 of Cups talks about illusions, right? The illusions, dreams that we have for ourselves that aren't real, that aren't practical for us, that aren't in any way really beneficial to us, right? These are dreams or goals or wishes for things that either could never really happen or that ultimately will not give us the happiness that we think it will give us. And so this Knight of Swords comes in to kind of say, hang on a second, you know, and to kind of help you sort of sift through a lot of this illusory sort of daydreaming nonsense and really get to the heart of the matter. And what happens is that you find out that perhaps you've been involved in a situation, a living situation or an environment, a dynamic with a group or another individual that is not that healthy for you. All right. And that has really kept you from your true dreams. The 7 of Cups, I think, is a lot of sort of pandering to sort of this dynamic here. But as a result of the Knight of Swords coming in, this dynamic falls apart. It might be very difficult in the beginning because, of course, it does leave you paying kind of the price financially. An example would be that if you're living with someone or you're living in a house of people, of roommates, and it's really not a very conducive environment for your progress, but, you know, it's easy, it's cheap, it's, you know, it's affordable, you know, blah, blah, blah. But whatever the case may be, you've been kind of stuck in that scenario. Well, Knight of Swords comes in and helps you kind of get out of that scenario. Of course, the price in the short term may be that, yes, now you may have to pay more on rent, or you may have less financial income to use, right? Cash flow to use. But ultimately, it will take you to a better place. Could very well be tarantula energy in the sense that you may be at a crossroads in your life, and it may be time to lay down these desires that really have not much to do with who you truly are, and to move away from these kind of negative, low vibrational environments. And a lot of this comes out of this input from this Knight of Swords individual. Four of Cups, Nine of Wands, King of Pentacles. Some of you are being given a cup of love this week and you're just not sure about it, right? You're not sure about it. You're feeling like, yeah, all right. The cup looks like all the other cups and I got nothing but misery from them. What do you have to offer? If all you're offering me is an empty cup, I'm not really there for it. You need to show and prove. Show to me what comes with this cup. What should I expect from this relationship? And until I know that I should expect stability, right, I'm not willing to take that cup. I'm not willing to take another cup that just leads me down a very difficult and chaotic relationship. And so you're very cagey, you're on the fence, you're very much about loving yourself first this week. You begin to also look back on a particularly tough period or stage in your life as a result of this. I want to say that this Four of Cups was a very intentional wall or boundary that you've put up that maybe you haven't put up before. And so just taking this step towards your own sort of positive progression has opened up your mind and your insight to begin to now also recognize where else in your life you have been stuck. Where else in your life you have been holding on to burdens, obstacles, baggage, self-esteem issues, self-confidence issues, all of the traumas really that come out of a difficult stage in life. You can see the character there is bandaged. But Nine of Wands, it isn't until the Nine of Wands that we begin to look back on some of the things we've been through, and we begin to look at some of the things we've held on to, and we begin to recognize them for what they are, which are blockages and obstacles to our progress. And so Nine of Wands is very much a precursor to that Ten of Wands. You can't have the Ten of Wands without the Nine of Wands, obviously, without that recognition. Ten of Wands comes in and you're ready to lay it down. Say goodbye. But right now you're still just kind of reevaluating, and a lot of this has come out of this kind of personal progression that you're making in your life, this intentional step to begin to put yourself first rather than to carry on with the habitual behaviors that you have used in the past. King of Pentacles comes in, and so someone is there right now, I believe, someone who has a lot of status and abundance, a lot of respect from his peers, is there almost not so much, maybe as a benefactor, maybe as a mentor, but somebody is definitely there in your corner who's representing with King of Pentacles to support you, right? Now, you could be resonating with King of Pentacles yourself in a sense that these things could be happening, but you could have reached a certain level of status and abundance in your own right, but I don't see the purpose of that sort of showing up here, right? So whether you resonate with King of Pentacles or not, there's going to be another individual in your world who can come in and sort of help you or support you in a very physical, material way to help you get through kind of these two stages. Knight of Cups, Hermit energy, and 8 major arcana. Well, there you are, Virgo, showing up in your own reading. Of course, Hermit energy is Virgo, is associated with Virgo energy. So, of course, some of you, I want to say that some of you have really been walking a pious, spiritual path for quite some time. And there's someone who comes into your life this week who really wants to have a connection with you. They want to have some kind of romantic or love connection with you. It may be that you guys have a lot of chemistry. But for some reason, Virgo, you're feeling, I want to say that for you, it's almost as if you're having to employ strength at this time because you're not sure if you're ready for yet another cup. You're very much on this path, this spiritual path to find yourself. Right? To find who you are and what you desire. You're very much resonating with tarantula energy in that way. And so I think this week you're probably exhibiting a lot of strength because I think this Knight of Cups is someone that you have probably a lot of chemistry with, but you're just unsure if you are willing to give up the path that you're on now for this night. We do know that the Knight is the flight. The Knight of Cups is the most uncommitted knight in the deck. He's the most flighty. Look at his horse as he prances in. He doesn't ride in or run in, right, as the other horses do. He prances in, right? And so the Knight of Cups oftentimes is someone who is uncommitted, not because they want to hurt you, but because they don't really know what their feelings are. The Knight is only one step up from the page. He hasn't ascended to the Queen of Cups yet. Who knows who she is? The Knight of Cups is still figuring it out. He hasn't even crossed the little stream of emotions yet, right? He hasn't even dipped his toe into the stream or the river here, which would represent his deeper emotions. So he's still really skimming the surface. And so oftentimes the Knight of Cups can be flighty, can be uncommitted. And you're worried about this. You're not concerned with necessarily, you know, it's not so much that you don't want to have a love connection, but you don't want to forgo this very important path that you are on to make room for this individual if they just leave again. And so this week you're being very strong. You're exercising a lot of internal emotional strength. And quite frankly, this Knight of Cups is going to have to come with a lot more than a cup. 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and there's your 10 of Wands. All right, so some of you are certainly getting ready to go. This is definitely about a crossroads for a lot of you Virgos. 3 of Wands indicates having to exercise patience in the pursuit of one of your goals. Why? Because I think right now it's not about making that next step. Just like the tarantula waits. Oftentimes when you see a tarantula in the wild, they'll really be frozen. You don't even know if they're alive sometimes because they're so still, right? And then they move. You're being forced to be still. Three is the number for patience, bonding, and loyalty. 3 of Wands talks about patience in your endeavors, in your forward momentum in attaining your dreams and your wishes, maintaining your virtue to make sure that the next step is in line with your plans. But why is that? Because right now you're dealing with another stage of your life, which is coming to a 10 of Wands, which you're ready to lay down. You realize that you've been walking blind because you've been walking leaning on a lot of hang-ups and baggage that up until now perhaps did serve as a crutch, but now you realize it's not a crutch anymore, but now it's actually impeding your forward momentum and growth. And you're ready to lay it down. 10 of Wands talks about the end of a very difficult and trying stage in your life where you have finally realized that it's time to let go of all the guilt, of all the judgment, right? It's time to let go of all the self-doubt. Someone in your life doesn't want to let you go, though. 8 of Swords is my great gaslighter card, my victim card. Somebody in your life is definitely trying to play on your heartstrings. Right? Well, it could be that part of this laying down of the 10 of Wands could be laying down this person in the sense of going away from them, getting away from them, their toxic energy. 8 of Swords is very toxic energy in an individual. It can be. Okay? And it's quite interesting. I think they're going to guilt trip you. There'll definitely be some guilt tripping in the sense that they're going to make you try to feel bad for wanting to progress in your life because they can't follow or they can't come with you, or if progression in your life may mean that you don't continue to support their codependency. And oh well. The Emperor, Justice, and 9 of Swords. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave it. The Emperor comes in, Aries energy and Justice. There's a rebalancing that needs to happen. Right now, you're feeling very, very anxious about something new. Emperor can indicate a new enterprise as well, a new beginning in a field, in a sense that you're pioneering, you're starting something that nobody else has ever done. The Emperor is also the leader. But he needs to be benevolent and gracious as a leader and not too obstinate or too demanding. Too judgmental. Emperor energy, of course, is a strong fire energy, and it's stable energy, right? And I think that this week you're dealing with a rebalancing of bringing back stability and authority into your life. You seek to regain the authority of your own life. Now, whether or not this comes in this week or not, because some of you will actually be waiting for a judgment or a decision or an official ruling to come in. And if you haven't received this, you're going to be quite anxious this week about it. This could be something to do with your career, certainly. Your life, you know, your environment, the ability to control the narrative of your life, and you're getting a lot of anxiety about it. All right. I can just say this: balance will come. And Justice card shows up because balance is imminent if it has not already begun to come in. So for all of these anxieties that you have this week and these worries, remember that Nine of Swords is only ever just anxiety and worry and misery we put on ourselves, and it's not at all indicative of the true reality of what you're going through. It's not like a sign, you know. Oh, I'm feeling nervous, something bad's going to be happening, it's a sign. No, that's not always a sign. Sometimes you're just driving yourself crazy, yeah? And you have to really be wise enough to understand that. This idea that every emotion and every thought you have is somehow plugged into the universal consciousness is ridiculous. You're a person with emotions and feelings, and sometimes you're going to be worried and anxious about things you have no reason to be worried and anxious about, and that's simply the fact. All right, my lovely Virgo, this is your September 22nd to the 28th weekly tarot reading in love, life, and career. If it resonated with you at all, please like and subscribe, share, help me to grow my channel. All of this really helps me, supports me, and helps me to continue to provide these readings for you. But for right now, Virgo, thank you so much for checking out this video, checking out my channel, and I will see you next week for next week's weekly. Bye-bye now.